the News Channel 5 network. This is OpenLine.
Hello everyone, welcome to OpenLine on Tuesday night. I'm Ben Hall. Very good show tonight. We are talking about the future of Nashville. The folks at Nashville Next have been collecting comments from the public. They have some 10,000 comments that they have collected, and now they are about to put together all of those comments into 3 futures for our city. And so that's what we want to talk about tonight. We have with us people from Nashville Next. Greg Claxton, Nashville Next Planner. Thank you for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
And Jeff Syracuse, Community Engagement Committee. You're part of the Community Engagement.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
So let's talk about this. We've had you all on Nashville Next before. We've talked about it a little bit, but let's kind of go over what it is. What is Nashville Next?
Right. So Nashville Next is a process to create a plan to guide how Nashville grows and changes over the next 25 years. The core of it, what we do is look at kind of the physical city. The houses that we build, the apartments that we build, the roads, transit lines, parks, as well as where we don't build, where are the areas that we want to preserve. We take all of that, we sort of go through a 2-year public process to figure out what people want for their future, where are trends taking us that are outside of our control that we need to react to. And we try to put it all together into some strategic vision to give the city direction in terms of how it spends money, how it regulates things, how it enters into partnerships with community groups, business groups.
You've gotten like 10,000 comments.
That's right.
Over several months now. When will this be done?
We're aiming to have a draft plan ready for the public to take a look at in January next year, and then having it adopted by Planning Commission in around May or June.
Okay.
And then it'll go to Metro Council after that.
And a big part of this is community input, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, we've had lots of comments that have come in. You've been putting all those comments together. There are actually phases to this whole thing. Kind of explain where we are as far as the phases go. Or is...
Take the phase?
Sure.
Sure.
Go ahead. Well, yeah, let's talk about the phases.
Sure. Okay. So the first thing that we did was we had a round of basically kind of public education where we brought in some national speakers to highlight key trends. And then we also did visioning, just kind of very broad, what do you want for the future of Nashville? We took those, kind of refined them into a smaller set of things, kind of key vision ideas, went back to the public and said, did we hear you right? And then what are your priorities? Then our big thing that we did last fall was growth mapping, where we gathered people around basically a big 8-foot by 8-foot map of the county and said, okay, we're expecting to grow by 200,000 people and 300,000 jobs. Where should they go? What should that look like?
Okay. And there were these community meetings here just recently, right? And you help lead those. Explain that. And we also have a video. I want to show that video, but explain what we're about to see.
You're about to see probably the neighborhood leader training that happened this past Saturday as a way to get the folks ready for this next phase. This next phase is critically important in that we want everybody to have input. So from texting some input to actually going online to attending meetings, this phase coming up is going to be critically important. So we actually had a neighborhood leader training to equip folks in how to engage their own communities.
So what I want to do now is show that video. This is 3 minutes, and it's part of the process, training community leaders to take this message out to their own constituencies. So let's take a look at this, then we'll come back and talk about it.
Okay, what neighborhoods do we have here today?
Belshire Estates.
Belshire.
Who we have coming today to the Neighborhood and Civic Leaders Training are neighborhood leaders, civic leaders, folks who are in the city who just care about Nashville and want to learn more about how they can get better engaged and plugged into the Nashville Next process.
I'm here this Saturday to kind of show support for what's going on. I think it's important to find out why I really got engaged in this process and the benefits that I have seen from it.
So this summer we are going to consider 3 different futures, 3 different ways that Nashville could develop out over the next 25 years.
All of the futures start with the assumption of what our community plans have laid out. So with 14 different planning areas, the planning staff has spent at least a year in each of those areas doing planning work.
So the 3 options, the 3 futures, includes business as usual, so thinking about us as a city developing out without any interventions, just it's kind of going the same way that it's been going the last 25 years. We've got an option called downtown with Pike, so thinking about putting a lot of growth downtown and that growth radiating out along our pikes. And then finally, we've got centers with infill, so thinking about major employment and population centers like Bellevue Mall or Hickory Hollow Mall or Metro Center, and thinking about adjacent infill, residential infill around those places. So there are 3 different futures, 3 different ways that Nashville can develop.
If it's in the plan, it's reasonable, and it was put in place, then you could point at it and say, well, that's here in the plan.
Today we want to get across the importance of being involved in this phase this summer, phase 4 in summer 2014. This phase is going to guide how we do community planning in the future, and is also going to allow us to pick the future that Nashvillians prefer, the growth pattern. So it's important that they're here to learn about how to get plugged in this summer.
It's going to be interesting. Picking a future.
I think they'll be interested to kind of know that there's an overall plan for the county, and that the community plan and this bigger plan kind of work together, and that if they have any interest in getting involved, they need to do it now.
We're going to be enveloped by progress that's going to bring a lot of change, maybe not exactly where we live, but all around us. So we're deeply concerned, but we're on the program. Our folks are thinking about it already.
I think that is very key to making it work for everybody, is everybody has a seat at the table right now.
Adapt. Sink or swim.
And there you see it. There you see it. It's time to pick. We are now going to pick our future. And I want to talk about all of those, business as usual, downtown and Pike, centers and infill. We have a call here. I want to get to a call, but yeah, it's a very interesting time, and I want to go through each one of those. Let's go to Jay on line 1. Hello, Jay.
Hello, gentlemen.
Hi, what's on your mind?
I was just wondering, I know Nashville is just booming, and I know Land is gone, but I feel the Nashville area, outside of Nashville somewhere, we need a family-oriented big theme park. That's just my opinion. And also, the next mayor who takes over is going to have a huge load to take care of with all the growth and everything, and I just wonder what your thoughts were on that.
Okay, good questions and comments. And we've had Nashville Next on before. That's not the first time we've heard the need for something like Opryland. But speak to his 2 points.
Sure. Well, I mean, it's as you mentioned. I mean, it's definitely something we've heard before throughout the process. Kind of the importance of not just a family-oriented theme park, which we've heard specifically a number of times, but also in general the need for family-oriented events, family-friendly communities. A place where you can get out, walk, let your kids run around, and be sort of free range for a little while, a little part of each day. Some of those are things that Metro has a very big hand in. Certainly kind of the condition of our streets, safety, kind of, do you feel like your kids are able to get out and walk around on the sidewalks, that sort of thing. The theme park is a trickier thing. It's definitely something that we've heard, and I think, we'll kind of keep an eye on as opportunities arise. I mean, that's kind of why we do the plan, is to sort of look at, what do we need to be ready for? What do we need to do when an opportunity comes up? Where can we connect that to, a little bit of land or, a critical community need?
And he talked about the next mayor and some of the challenges the next mayor may face. What about that?
Well, I mean, certainly what we're looking at is for the long term, beyond just a 4 or an 8 year term. So a big part is just sort of how do we carry this conversation forward across administrations, across councils, and give them the tools that they need to sort of respond to community concerns. Our hope is that this plan integrates with Metro decision making overall, so that it's not something that's just what the planning department does, but it helps make coherent decisions for all of our capital improvements, all of our other regulations, that kind of thing.
And I bet a lot of the information in here would be something that the people running for mayor would be interested to see, because again, you've reached out to a lot of different communities. You saw a lot of neighborhood associations represented just in that last piece. There's a lot of information here.
Last time this was done was 1992, right? So a lot has changed since then, for sure.
Last time done in 1992. Okay, we're going to take a break. Then we're going to come back and we're going to talk about the 3 futures. Time to pick a future. So what are the three futures? Business as usual, downtown and Pike centers, and infill. Take a break. Also take your phone calls. If you want to call, 737-PLUS, 737-7587. Be back right after this.